Hey everyone, welcome to Podkinz. I'm Janelle and I'm here with my special co-host Michael Webkinz.
Hey Janelle.
And we're also here with our very own Matt Webkinz.
Hello everybody.
So thanks to both of you for being with me here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. It feels like it's been a while since I've been in here.
Yeah, it has been a long time, for sure. Now, this is our Mayor of Kinzville election guide, but before we get to that, we have a couple reminders for you.
That's right. The Fall Fair Challenge is on right now. Play to win a Fall Fair stand fridge and cute harvest-inspired prizes available until November 30th.
This is a fun one for sure.
It is a lot of fun, and you know what? The Fall Fair stand fridge looks really, really cool. You can set it up in your pet's yard. It's a really fun item.
Yeah. Now, another reminder, if you want to get more involved with the Webkinz community and you have access to social media, you can check us out on YouTube at www.youtube.com/Webkinz, Facebook at facebook.com/Webkinz, Twitter at Webkinz. That's an easy one.
That's an easy one, yeah.
Instagram at Webkinz or Instagram.com/Webkinz. Or finally, Tumblr at webkinz.tumblr.com.
So many places to check us out. And also make sure that you visit Webkinz News daily because we post new articles and new information every day.
Now, shall we read what's in our special election guide Kinz post?
Let's do it. Matt?
Yep. This is my favorite part of the Podkinz.
Awesome.
Reading comments and stuff.
All right, here we go.
Last episode, we asked you to send us your thoughts on the election, and we got some great responses.
Art Magician wrote, Dear Podkinz, I think that the Webkinz Votes 2014 storyline is amazing. I got so intrigued by it, and I'm excited to see who's going to win. I'm voting for Miss Cowline because she stated that change should be a choice supported by the citizens, which is one of the major things I was looking for in the candidates.
That's interesting.
However, based on what I've heard from other players, I think that Cowbell Cowline has a very good chance of winning.
Yeah.
I think she's winning right now in the poll.
I think she is.
And you know what? Miss Cowline and Cowbell Cowline are, of course, mother and daughter, which is pretty cool, and they're both running. Art Magician continues, if I was going to run for mayor, my platform would be similar to Miss Cowline's. I would listen to the citizens' thoughts and requests and act accordingly to what they want. I would also work hard to make sure that every citizen has what they need, including education, available jobs, and a recreation department for activity. You know what? A recreation department, that sounds like a lot of fun. I think we need one of those in Webkinz World.
Should do a Let's Build video with one.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
There you go.
I'm full of ideas.
The email finishes, those are my thoughts, and I can't wait to find out more about this story.
Very cool.
It's a great email.
Yeah. Nancy Drew 1 says, if I ran for mayor of Kinzville, my platform would probably be adding fun stuff like restaurants and movie theaters and more on the entertainment art side of things. I would also make more clothes for free players.
Here's a question. What would you do if you were mayor, Janelle?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I kind of agree with Nancy Drew, I think. But yeah, no, I think I would probably want to see more like creative stuff in Webkinz World.
That's cool.
Anna emailed us and said, Hey, Janelle and Michael, I just wanted to talk about who I'm voting for in the Webkinz Votes 2014 election. I think the right candidate to elect for mayor is Cowbell Cowline.
Ooh, another one for Cowbell.
A lot of Cowbell supporters. I'm voting for her because she can relate to me and the citizens because she is a child. I think because of that, she will listen to our opinions and agree to more of them. But some think she'll be too immature to control Kinzville. But she's a very mature child, and I think she knows what she'll be doing. She can also have guidance from her mom, Miss Cowline. Is that allowed for another mayoral candidate to be influenced by another mayoral candidate? Because you know what? If one of the that's true, but if one of them gets elected, you know that probably will happen.
I think mayors in towns that we all live in, I think that happens as well. If you don't win the election, you can still help the next mayor.
That's true. I guess there's a lot of people who influence the mayor.
I think it's really interesting that Anna is really interested in voting for Cowbell because she can relate to her.
That's right, because she's a kid.
Yeah. Do you think it's important to relate to a candidate?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, you want to pick the one candidate that sort of speaks to you the most.
Yeah, like you can maybe see part of yourself in them.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So Anna finishes off her email to say, not to mention that Cowbell is just so likable and will be the next Kinzville mayor.
Oh, there you go.
That's some confidence.
Yeah.
I should also mention that Anna included a great screenshot of a Webkinz highway with the election signs. Check it out at the bottom of this article. Those election signs, by the way, are in the W Shop, and they're going to be available in the W Shop all the way to December 1st when we announce who the actual mayor of Kinzville is going to be. So if you haven't picked one up already, pick one up of your favorite candidate, or you know what, pick them all up.
Yeah.
Because they'll probably be collector's items pretty
Yeah.
soon when this election is over.
Huggy Buggy 9 wrote, if I were running for mayor of Kinzville, I would promote creativity. I would open places where you could design your own clothing, furniture, paintings, etc. I would promote healthy eating through creativity too by working with Daisy Doe to open a restaurant where you could customize your food to make it unique.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Working with Daisy Doe.
And customizing your food.
Yeah. She also suggests I would also have more design contests on Webkinz News. I would bring back the contest where you can make a movie using the Webkinz studio, and the winner's shows would be on the Webkinz TV.
I love the Webkinz studio. Just on a side note, you can pick it up in the W Shop. It's in the fun stuff section of the W Shop. It's a lot of fun because you can choose characters, you can put together a little movie and share it with your friends.
Definitely. She also says I would put in a bed that you could switch quilts on. Interesting idea.
That's cool. Changing the state of a bed.
Yeah, exactly. And for people who like to write, I would have a writing contest where you could write a story set in Webkinz World about a Webkinz, enter it on Webkinz News, and the winning story could be made into a Webkinz virtual book. Great idea.
Very cool.
Yeah, I would also be open to advice from the Webkinz players, which is very important.
Yep.
I would not take anything out of the game because Webkinz can be made better without taking stuff away. I think we should all #be creative.
Wow, she has her own little slogan too.
That's so cute.
I'm voting for Huggy Buggy 9. I've decided.
We're convinced by your platform.
Absolutely. Thank you to everybody for writing in. If you want to write to Podkinz, send us an email at podkinz@gans.com or leave us a comment in the section below this article.
The Inside Scoop!
In this segment, we're giving you the inside scoop on the Mayor of Kinzville election. But don't worry, we checked with Ella McWolf, and we're not going to invade her scoop territory, we promise. So, Michael, firstly, maybe can we give the story so far?
Sure. You know what? It all started back in August. It was around the end of August where Daisy Doe arrived in town, and nobody really knew too much about her. I was personally intrigued about her, as I think a lot of people were.
Yeah.
Anyway, we first met her when she was walking around the map of Kinzville handing out olive bread.
Yes.
And then we learned that she was going to be holding a veggie festival, which, you know, I have to admit, I was a little bit skeptical because we've never had a veggie fest before in Webkinz, and it was kind of a weird thing to celebrate vegetables, but you know what?
Yeah, I think the Kins were a little uneasy about it as well. Like, they weren't sure what to expect.
Yeah, but you know what? It was really nice of Daisy to hold the event. Everybody came out. She gave away free stuff, and, you know, we got to sample some of her foods. It was really cool. But then all of a sudden, she threw this curveball at us, and a surprise twist to the story happened because she announced that she was concerned that Mr. Moo's ice cream was unhealthy, and she wanted to run for mayor. And if she were to be elected as mayor, her first order of business was to close Mr. Moo's ice cream stand and replace it with a healthy snack food stand. She also told us that if she were to become mayor, she would replace all the unhealthy food in the W Shop. But, you know, she also announced that she would increase the health boosts of all the food in the W Shop. So it was really interesting that this announcement came, and, you know, there was a lot of mixed feelings around Webkinz World, and as a result, some other candidates joined the race. So there were definitely 5 of the candidates who joined the race after Daisy announced that she was running, and that was Tabby Von Meow,
Yes.
Miss Cowline, Miss Cowline's daughter, Cowabelle, Dex Dangerous, and Sheldon Turtle.
And Sheldon.
And you know what? When all these characters joined the race, they each announced their own platforms, which in an election, of course, is a promise that they would fulfill if they were to become mayor.
Yes.
And each of them had a promise that was pretty good, but then there was a promise that some of them had that could have kind of seemed a little bit negative. I know for me, it's been really tough to decide which candidate I want to support, because on one side, they have something that's really interesting and they want to change something for good in Webkinz World. But on the other hand, they have these promises that they're going to kind of take away something as well.
Except for Sheldon.
Yeah.
That's right.
To be very chill.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, his catchphrase is, it's all good.
That's right. Yeah, they all have their own catchphrases, which are pretty funny and pretty cool, and they really relate to their characters. So are we going to go through each one, Janelle?
Yeah, I have some questions for you and Matt as well. I thought we could have some discussion, because there's so much discussion happening on Webkinz News in the comment section, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. So maybe let's go candidate by candidate. The first one, of course, is Daisy. And I'm wondering if you guys think, you know, can she overcome her earlier statements about Mr. Moo?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when she announced that she was going to be teaming up with making new ice cream, we definitely saw a lot more people supporting her, changing their minds almost.
Yeah. And you're talking
cool.
about the partnership that she just announced with Mr. Moo.
But I think, I mean, in her article with Ella, her one-on-one interview, I thought that it was really interesting that she revealed that she intended to close his stand, but she never intended to put him out of a job.
Right.
I think that her intention was when she was to open up this healthy snack food stand, Mr. Moo would be running the stand. But it just goes to show that, there's been so many comments and people getting into this election, which is awesome. But I think there's a lot of rumors that have been flying around as well that kind of makes it really hard to know what to believe, really.
I think that kind of stems from the candidates as well, because, it's their job to be very clear about what their platforms are. And if they're not clear enough, then sometimes it's hard to interpret, right?
Yep, but they have these interviews coming out.
That's right.
So hopefully they'll be able to clear up any confusion.
Yeah, so if you have questions for any of the candidates, be sure to leave them in the comment section and maybe Ella can ask them.
Yeah, and just a side note, when Daisy first announced that she was going to be running for mayor, I think there was only about 20% of the people who wanted her to become mayor.
Yeah.
And that was
now,
pretty interesting.
Yeah, and now, after her latest one-on-one interview with Ella McWolf, she's really gained popularity. If you guys have seen those polls, it seems like she's almost second place now behind Cowbell. But I mean, anything can happen because there's really a month left until the actual election.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the polls and sort of where each candidate is landing in the polls right now, let's talk about Tabby for a second. So Tabby, since she's announced her candidacy, has pretty much been in either second or third place.
So what were her promises again?
So she has promised, if elected, to reduce the amount of wait time in between jobs at the employment office from 8 hours to 4 hours.
That's pretty good.
That is a good one.
It's great if you want to complete challenges quicker and earn Kinz cash faster. Except the other thing, a slightly negative promise she's making is that she has to reduce the payout for each job completed. And in her interview that came out yesterday, she said that the payout is going to be decreased by 20%.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends, I suppose.
So I think I know for a high-level job, if you pass one of the difficult jobs, I think you get 350 Kinz cash.
Mm-hmm.
So 20% of 350
is 70.
Janelle taught me a little trick
Oh,
about
you already
that.
know this answer?
Janelle taught me a little bit of trick, so I was going to use that, right? Because 10% would be 35 times 2 is 70. Got to talk it out. Sorry. So. But 70, that's a lot of money for a large job. And you know what? There's never any guarantee that you're actually going to pass the job. If you look at that one, I think that reducing it by 4 hours definitely outweighs the fact that she's going to be reducing it by a little bit of money. So I definitely, I think that she's a pretty good candidate.
Yeah, definitely. So one of Tabby's biggest competitors in this race is actually Miss Caroline, who announced her candidacy right after Tabby. And Miss Caroline's platform is basically saying there are fewer days to wait until recess.
That's interesting.
Awesome.
This is great.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
That is cool.
However, she also says she's going to be so busy being mayor that she's going to have to stop doing her super school days, where you can earn double the credit if you go to the Kinzville Academy on that day.
That's interesting. So both Miss Caroline and Tabby are reducing wait times.
Mm-hmm. That's a hard one, though. I don't know.
Recess is a lot of fun, and to get there faster would definitely be a plus. So between those two candidates, again, it's a really tough choice. Even if you throw Daisy Doe in there, I mean, I'd love to have my pets become sick less frequently. And you know what? A few healthier options in the W shop, that doesn't bother me one bit. So I mean, it's a really tough choice.
For sure. Now, the next candidate who entered into the mix is one of Kinzville's most famous. It's Dex Dangerous, movie star. Now, Dex...
I'm a fan of Dex, I have to admit.
Great.
Are you?
Yeah.
Same as
He's a big movie star. He's pretty cool.
Same as Sparky. Sparky loves Dex.
He does, yeah.
So Dex is you could say he's a little egotistical, perhaps.
A bit arrogant.
Yeah, but he's saying, there's no real need to have all of these themes that come out every year. He thinks that one theme is enough. Of course, it's a Dex Dangerous theme.
Of course.
I could picture this theme as being pretty nice, pretty extravagant. But you know what? This past year, we've had a couple of competitions on Webkinz News that allowed our players to vote on a room theme that they wanted added to the W shop. We did it twice. We did it with the Toadstools theme, and we did it with the Home for the Holidays theme that's coming out this December.
Which looks awesome.
Yes.
It looks really good.
It looks amazing.
I'm going to do a
cool.
Let's Build video with that one pretty soon, so
Sweet.
everybody will be able to get a sneak peek of that. But you know what? Those were two really interesting events that our players actually had an influence in creating. And so if Dex takes that away next year, I think that would be a bit of a shame.
So do you think there's anything positive about Dex becoming mayor?
I think that a positive would definitely be that this room theme that he's going to release in the W shop, I think that it would be unlike anything that we've ever seen before. It sounds pretty interesting. I'm just wondering, and I hope that he's going to say more about this in his interview, what about the holiday themes? you know, the Halloween theme, the Christmas
Right,
theme.
you can't really get rid of those.
No, I mean, are they going to be coming back? Even though, like he said, there's no new themes coming out. And also we have these seasonal themes that come out, you know, throughout the year. And I just want to learn a little bit more about his campaign. And I hope that Ella is going to be able to ask him questions like that.
Ella's not afraid of asking the tough questions.
Nope, not at all.
That's true.
So on to our next candidate and current leader in the polls. It's young Cowbell Caroline. And I think a question that a lot of our commenters have raised is, can a kid really lead Kinzville as mayor?
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
like what Anna said, she'll always be getting help from people.
Yeah.
So yeah, like her mom will always be there helping her out.
And I think it's worth noting that kids have great ideas too, right?
Some of the freshest, coolest ideas, I think, come from kids. And
Well, some of our ideas, we get them from suggestions from players.
Absolutely.
Or
Yeah.
at least influenced
Yeah.
by it. And we're like, oh, we never thought about that before.
read through the comment sections. And I mean, when I do, I'm always amazed at the suggestions that people have. I think that Cowbell could be great. And I mean, have you guys been following along the whole group chat with the Kins?
Yes, those are interesting.
They're interesting. And I mean, Cowbell comes off as a really smart, well put together young girl. And I think that she's got a great role model in her life, and that's Miss Cowline.
Absolutely.
So I think she'd do a great job.
Definitely.
For sure.
So wait, what were her
So
campaign
Cowbell
promises?
is basically running on the idea of more freedom means more time with your family. So what she wants to do is, if elected, she wants to open up treetop and underwater rooms to more people.
I love that idea. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Good idea.
Right now, I mean, if you have a pet that flies, you'll unlock the ability to add a treetop room to your house. If you have a pet that swims, you unlock the underwater rooms. Or if you're a deluxe member, you unlock both. But for everybody to have access to these two rooms, I mean, I love room building. And that, to me, sounds like a lot of fun and really awesome.
Yeah, and going along with that, she also said that she's going to try and open up more items to go more places. So as you know, a lot of items can only be placed, say, like indoor or maybe just outdoor. She wants to open up the possibilities, essentially.
That's interesting.
That's a good idea.
Now, the slightly negative thing that Cowbell said was, you know, she wants everyone to have more freedom and spend more time with their family. So she thinks that all you need is one spree roll a day. You don't need two.
You know what? Interestingly enough, when we first released Spree in Webkinz World, you only did get one roll.
Yeah.
Really?
And so, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so
Didn't
it
know
was
that.
about a year or something later when we released the ability to get a second roll. But in any case, you can store up to 3 rolls. So if you don't play Webkinz for 3 days and then you log on after 3 days, you'll have 3 spree rolls waiting there for you. So, I mean, if you play every day, which I do, then then that kind of is a big negative, because I like my spree rolls and I like going to the Kinzville Mall. But if you play a few times a week, then it might not be such a bad thing.
Right. Very good point.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
Yeah. All right. So our final candidate, we're pretty sure he's still running for mayor.
Yes.
It's Mr. Sheldon Turtle. And I got to say, you
My
know,
boy
I got to
Sheldon.
ask, what's up with Sheldon?
What is up with Sheldon?
What-
That's the biggest question.
What he thinks everything's fine.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to do anything with anything.
No.
I can't decide if he's really lazy or really smart.
I don't think he fully understands the responsibility
No?
of being a mayor.
Maybe not.
That's true. But you know what? When all these candidates have sort of these things that will shake up Kinzville a little bit, he's just maybe saying, you know what? Everybody chill. Don't worry about it. Relax. Nothing needs to change. Everything's going great. You know, why change anything? Because we got something good going here. You know what? There's something to be said about that. But again, it's really hard to choose one of 6 people. And I am really interested to see what happens at the end of November. Because you know what? Actually, I wanted to mention this. When we had our room voting for the latest Christmas, the holiday room theme, when I was reading through the posts, I mean, there was, first of all, let me just recap there. We had the choice of the gingerbread theme, the candy cane lane theme, and the home for the holidays theme. And the concept drawings for all of them were amazing. But when I was reading the comments, it just seemed like it was going to be gingerbread or candy
Yeah.
cane lane, because that's what everybody was talking about. And then when it came actually down to the voting, it was pretty close, but Home for the Holidays ended up winning. And I think it
Yeah.
surprised everybody. So who knows what's going to happen with this election?
So the lesson from that is, if you really want a candidate to win, you got to come out and vote. You can't just kind of assume that they're going to win. You got to go out and help them, right?
That's a good point. And you know what? Voting happens on November 28th, 29th, and 30th. You can vote once a day, but you can vote each of those 3 days. So
Yes.
in total, you can submit 3 votes.
Yeah.
Now, Janelle or Matt, do you think that what's a good strategy here? Like, if you have 3 favorites, would you maybe vote for each of them on each of the 3 days, or do you choose one and just put all your votes into that candidate?
I think if it were me, I'd probably put all my votes behind one candidate.
Yeah, I would too.
That's probably the easiest way.
Matt, do you have anybody in mind that you might vote for? I mean, I don't think that we should say, maybe.
No, I don't think we should say, but I definitely know who I'm going to be voting for.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm already set.
That's good, because I probably have, I'd say maybe 2 or 3 that I'm debating.
This is actually
about
just causing rifts in the creative team.
And
debate the election every day.
Yeah, well, it's a big topic
It's true.
at Webkinz HQ for sure. I just want to remind people as well, when you're voting on election days, once you vote, you'll receive a free Webkinz Votes 2014 poster for your room.
That's true. It's a great poster, features Ella. I really see this as a historical event because we've never had a mayor of Kinzville. We've never had a vote to this extent.
Yeah.
It's exciting. So, that's why I say collect those election signs. If you log into Webkinz World on the day that these candidates are going to be doing their one-on-one interview with Ella McWolf, you can get a cap that represents each candidate. If you go to Webkinz News, you'll be able to see the interview schedule. And also, I mean, there's that poster that you can get, and you can collect 3 of them if you vote all 3 days. So that would be a pretty cool room too, like a Webkinz election room.
We're already seeing a lot of really great Webkinz Votes room designs. So if you want to share yours, definitely upload it to the fan art section in the Share Center. We want to see them.
Yep.
Good idea.
Okay, so to wrap that up, we just want to let you know that the winner of the Mayor of Kinzville election will be officially announced on December 1st. So don't forget to swing by Webkinz News to see who won.
I still think that Huggy Buggy 9 should win.
Yeah.
To keep chatting about the election, feel free to chime into the comments section at webkinznews.com.
Whatever the outcome is, the new Mayor of Kinzville is sure to cause a few ripples once they're elected.
Don't forget to vote for your favorite candidate on webkinznews.com from November 28th to 30th.
We'll see who you elect on December 1st. Now, in our next episode, we've got a special treat for all the Webkinz plush fans out there. We know that tons of you adore collecting plush, and we get a lot of questions about how that process works.
So we've invited a special guest who's been involved with the plush design process since the very beginning of Webkinz.
This is a big deal, so if you have questions you'd like to ask about plush, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Plus, tell us your favorite memory with a plush. Maybe you took your favorite Webkinz on a trip or put on a play with them.
Or maybe you have a huge collection and want to share how many you've got. Hey, Matt, how many Webkinz do you have?
I have, I think, 6 here at work, and I have a few of them at home.
Cool.
What about you?
I've been working here for a few years now.
Yeah.
So I do have a nice collection, but I also have, a bunch of stuff other things that we've released, like the figures and the Zums. I think it's all
You had quite the collection. It's
really
pretty cool.
Janelle, what about you?
I have a lot of Webkinz. I have, I think, 10 here at work. And then I have a bunch more at home.
Nice.
And I love giving them as gifts as well.
That's the best.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. So if you want to share your plush stories with us, feel free to do so in the comment section below this article, the YouTube video, or send us an email at podkinz@gans.com. Your thoughts could be featured in our next show. So I want to thank Michael Webkinz and Matt Webkinz for joining me for this Election Day special. And we hope that you guys all get out and vote.
Yep. See ya.
Okay, thanks. Bye.